Welcome to the next Writer's Block Workshop. What is the fantasy genre? Exploring the genre and subgenres in the realm of fantasy. I am your host, Cal Bowen, also known as Coffee Pendragon. Fantasy is a genre of speculative fiction that includes magic and myths. Some of the earliest fantasy stories include The Odyssey by Homer and Beowulf. Fantasies include some form of magic, such as staves and wands, enchanted weapons and armor, spells and scrolls, potions and elixirs. It can also include beings from mythology, such as creatures and sentient beings, monsters and beasts, gods and goddesses, folk heroes and heroines. I'm going to cover some of the subgenres within fantasy. This is not an all-inclusive list, but some of the major subgenres of fantasy are as follows. Epic fantasy, the fate of the world. Lord of the Rings, J.R.R. Tolkien, and A Song of Ice and Fire by George R.R. Martin are a couple of examples of epic fantasy. This is the genre that most readers will think of when they hear the word fantasy. Low fantasy is magic in a mundane world, such as the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling and Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan. This subgenre is typically with magic hidden from the rest of the world. Next up is sword and sorcery, the fate of the anti-hero. Examples include Conan the Barbarian by Robert E. Howard and Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser by Fritz Leiber. This is the subgenre that was big during the time of the pulps. Dark fantasy is magic and horrors, such as the Cthulhu Mythos by H.P. Lovecraft and the Vampire Chronicles by Anne Rice. It's a subgenre that mixes magic and monsters to a terrifying effect. Next is paranormal romance, love and magic, such as the Twilight series by Stephanie Myers and the Southern Vampire series by Charlaine Harris. It's a modern-day Beauty and the Beast. Next you have cozy fantasy, which is magical realism, such as the Discworld series by Terry Pratchett and Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. It's the simple life, but with magic. Next is portal fantasy, where the reader is transported into another world, such as Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll and The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. It's crossing into a whole new world of magical imagination. Urban fantasy is magic in the modern world, such as The Dresden Files by Jim Butcher and Anita Blake Vampire Hunter by Laurel K. Hamilton. It's when you bring magic into your familiar world. Of course, you can't talk about fantasy without mentioning the classics, fables and fairy tales, lessons through magic, such as Grimm's Fairy Tales by Jacob and Wilhelm Grimm, and various other fairy tales by Hans Christian Andersen. These stories are much darker than you remember. Some honorable mention. You have steampunk and all of the other punks, science fantasy, historical fantasy, gaslamp fantasy, grimdark, and the opposite of grimdark, noble bright fantasies, and many more that are not listed in this slide presentation. In summary, fantasy blends in the elements of wonder into the world and is just one of the genres of fiction. Thank you for listening. Again, my name is Cal Bowen, aka Coffee Pendragon. I am a fantasy author. I write in the genres of urban fantasy, dark fantasy, cozy, sword and sorcery, and fantasy westerns. In future lessons, I will be covering some of these genres in greater detail. Thank you, and have a wonderful wordsmithing day.